We now know that data correlates with multiple viewers over multiple times on the moon. We know that multiple viewers correlate data in established patterns, repetition over years or months, and working as targets. So now, what stops us from going further? Well, nothing. So now, if the person driving this particular train really wants to fully investigate Mars, then that's what they would do. There would be a new concept of a target with a new set of coordinates, and that may have already been done 10 times, maybe more, right? And those coordinates now, that becomes another target that they work. And then there becomes another target that they work. And I know there's one that's out there now that a lot of people reference, which is this Mars visitation where there's a life form there. That
I think that's Sidonia. I think was where the target was.
Yeah. I've read that. I actually thought it was Pat Price. You said it was Joe McMoneagle because of the dating on it, and very well could have been. But clearly, that's another monitored session. And if you're reading it with a critical read, you see where the monitor is steering, right? Steering this viewer, which is why I really never liked nor felt that monitored sessions using that technique were credible. I won't know whether that's right or wrong until we actually do a manned mission to Mars. But I know now that there is, again, looking back to your session back then when there wasn't a lot of feedback available, and looking at it now, which is what viewers always need to do, is looking back on it now. I know that, the major plan for a manned mission to Mars is to go into these lava caves. Why? Because you're protected, from ultraviolet, you're protected from sand and windstorms, you're protected from rock storms, you're protected from meteorite strikes.
It sounds like there's water there based on what your description of the...
They highly suspect that there is water there, which they are, preparing in the training processes. If there's water there, it means that you can melt it, filter it, you can use it to grow food, you can use it to sustain life, and you can make rocket fuel with water, right? The hydrogen. So all of that is important for them to know. And so, describing things that are cold, that AOL stalactites, AOL stalagmites, look like crystals, cold, rigid, hard, everything that you start perceiving and writing down becomes, at the time, worthless because we don't have any feedback. But now, looking back, it's good feedback. It meant something. Now, we also know that we didn't know at the time, but in these giant lava tubes where lava has flowed underground, or it's the top ground, and as it cools, it creates a shell and it keeps going through it, is that these are really massive. I mean, these are hundreds of meters, some of them, in diameter, and some of them not that much. But some of the caverns that they see there have been now reports that they estimate that some of these caverns could easily be the size of the island of Manhattan. So that's when they get in there, and there's apparently an atmospheric bubble as the lava goes another direction or something, and something expands it, and you get these giant caverns, and then it goes elsewhere. To me, in looking at it many, many decades later, it was always fascinating to see that kind of thing.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons. Additionally, if you have any feedback, please put something in the comments below. And lastly, if you want to watch the full episode of this clip, you can find it above. Thanks again for watching.